Pittsburgh, the Eagles meet the Steelers for the first time in 9 years. A big game for Philadelphia today. They are at 5-5, still in the hunt, trying to catch the Giants. And in the AFC Central, Pittsburgh out of the playoff picture, playing today for pride and playing in a much more relaxed fashion. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts here in Pittsburgh. Two coaches under fire. One might think it's strange, Buddy Ryan at 5-5. With a 2-8 record, however, I guess a little bit understandable here in Pittsburgh.
Well, it's not, though, when you think about the fact that Chuck Noll has brought 4 Super Bowls to this town. You're going to have some down years. I fully expect that Chuck Noll will come back strong next year with the Steeler team.
Well, President Dan Rooney responded to all of the heat during this past week and spoke with us earlier.
Well, this is a pretty tough year. You know, we are not pleased with what has happened, but Chuck has done a fine job. We have had a lot of injuries, and there's a lot of reasons for where we are right now. But I have to say that at the end of the year, we're going to evaluate our whole operation. We're going to evaluate our scouting department, our coaching staff, and everything else. By no means am I saying that Chuck Noll is not going to be part of the Steelers.
Well, Dan, as I said, hard to imagine a coach 5-5 in just his 3rd year would be receiving the criticism Buddy Ryan has.
Tim, you think about the fact that Buddy Ryan only has 7 players remaining on that roster that he took over 2-3 years ago, and you think about all the changes he's made, they've had a lot of success. He's all about coaching that football team. That's what he said. He's going to be the head coach.
Well, that pressure has come from the media, but here is owner Norman Brayman, who spoke to us earlier on Ryan.
Buddy Ryan's our head football coach. He's done a fabulous job in assembling the quality football team that we have on the field today, and he's my coach.
During the past week, there was a resurrected rumor about the possibility of Jimmy Johnson of Miami becoming your coach.
Well, I heard about that rumor that conversations had started between Jimmy Johnson and myself. The last time I saw Jimmy Johnson was at the Mike Tyson-Holmes fight in Miami. We watched it at a restaurant together, and that was in 1986. So there's that. That's absolute nonsense.
Well, that says it all. And the weather here in Pittsburgh, cloudy skies hovering over the coaches, and the winds up to 30 miles an hour. Not too apparent on the field thus far. Forecast for cloudy skies. There is some rain falling now. It's been intermittent light showers. Gary Anderson will kick it off for the Steelers, and back deep for the Philadelphia Eagles, Sean Beals, young wide receiver, and Mark Cunningham. Reserve running back, special teamer. Gary Anderson just signed a brand new contract for the Steelers and having himself an outstanding year. And he booms this kickoff high into the end zone about 5 yards deep. Beals will not return it. And so the Eagles will start from the 20-yard line. Randall Cunningham, one of the most exciting players in the league this year, will face this Steeler defense. A little revamp today. The #1 pick, Aaron Jones, moved over to left defensive end where he wants to be. Gerald Williams on the nose, Tim Johnson on the right side. Hinkle, Little, Hardy Nickerson, and Greg Lloyd moves into the right outside linebacker spot. Woodruff, Woodson, Cornell Gowdy, and Thomas Everett, the Steelers secondary. Loose ball on a snap. Cunningham trying to make something out of it. Got only a couple of yards, forced out by Dwayne Woodruff. So a miscue on the opening down between Dave Ribbington and Randall Cunningham. Anthony Toney, Keith Byers in the backfield with Cunningham. Ron Johnson for the injured Mike Quick. Chris Carter and Keith Jackson, the outstanding rookie tight end. Darwin, Alexander, Remington, Baker, and Heller. Finally, an offensive line that is now set for the Eagles, even though they would like to have Ron Solt in there, but he has gone to injured reserve for knee surgery. 2nd down and 7. Andrew Toney stopped for a loss by an aroused front of the Steelers. It'll be 3rd and long, and here are the inactive players today. For Philadelphia, reserve quarterback Don McPherson. Ron Solt is actually on injured reserve, so they have 1 inactive today. Pittsburgh has Rodney Carter still bothered with a leg injury, and Darren Jordan, reserve linebacker, out with the flu.
And I know how he feels because I've got it.
Well, I think it adds a nice little timbre to your voice, man.
You got to play her.
You got to play her. 3rd down and 7. There was no gain on the last play. Cunningham from the shotgun. Out of the hands of Chris Carter. Had a chance at it, could not hold on. The Eagles will have to punt.
One of the things Randall Cunningham, I'm sure, is going to talk with Chris about is when you get a chance to catch a pass that is thrown directly to you and you're open, you've got to catch that pass. That's something certainly that Chris knows as well as anybody. It'll get told to him on the sideline as well by Ted Plum, the offensive coordinator of the Eagles.
John Kelchick comes on to punt for Philadelphia. Rod Woodson is the return man standing at the 35-yard line of Pittsburgh. Ominous looking skies here. The lights on at Three Rivers Stadium. Fair catch at the 40-yard line of the Steelers. And the first offensive series for Pittsburgh upcoming, and Bubby Brister brings them on, coming back from a dislocated finger, still somewhat swollen. He is the man of the future at quarterback. He'll face this Eagles defense. What a front. Reggie White, Mike Pitts, Jerome Brown, and Clyde Simmons. Linebackers Joyner, Reichenbach, and Todd Bell. Young, Allen, Waters, and Hopkins, the secondary. On first down, it is Merrill Hodge, number 33, picking up about 2. And 2 young running backs joining Brister in the backfield, starting for the second week in a row together, Hodge and Warren Williams. Weegee Thompson, Lewis Lips, Preston Gothard, the receiving corps, Wolfley, Blankenship, Webster, Long, and Ilkin. Like the Eagles, the Steelers have had injury problems affecting their offensive line. 2nd and 6. Lips in motion behind the ball. Warren Williams, good hold, has a first down, Pittsburgh. Williams, the rookie from Miami.
Tim, what the Steelers like to do is trap blocking up front. Now you're going to see Blankenship, number 60, throw a trap block on this play. And watch him come across right there. That's the trap block that takes place. Hey, now Williams just takes off with the football. But what you expect to see out of the Steelers is, again, they're going back to basics, going back to that trapping game that worked so well for them during the glory years.
They've been trying to get their running attack going. The veterans Frank Pollard and Ernest Jackson, with that banged-up offensive line, have not had much success. So they're going with the kids, and again, it's Merrill Hodge, the second-year man from Idaho State, bulked up 18 pounds in the offseason, running hard for a gain of about 7, maybe 8 yards on the play. Wes Hopkins on the tackle.
Well, you know, after watching the Steelers in practice the last couple of days and watching them run those trap plays, and what the thing that they do so well is technique work. You've noticed throughout the whole practice is all technique work, and that's what Chuck is really trying to get back to. Chuck wants to say, look, I got to get back to those techniques.
2nd down and 3 yards to go. Steelers now at the Philadelphia 41. Hodge again. Another good hold for him. First down.
Once again, another trap block, that time by Terry Long, number 74. And that's what they're going to try to work down the field with, and give Bubby Brister an opportunity, if indeed he has to throw the football, you know, to set it all up with your running game. So that way you have the defense playing back on their heels instead of coming at you.
Chuck Knoll off to the worst start since he's been the head coach of the Steelers, and he is as unhappy about it as anybody, and having to endure all of the speculation here in the Pittsburgh area that this might be his last year, but he is planning on continuing to coach. Brister under pressure, gets it off to Hodge. Hodge picks up about 3 on the play, and they may be calling in the grass back here. Looks like they will. It was Jerome Brown. Jerome Brown, number 99, got the quarterback for a sack, and of course Brister thought he got the ball away.
Well, Jerome Brown gets off the ball exceptionally well, and that's the thing that really classifies him as a great defensive lineman. I think I'm going to call him great because I think that's where he's headed. He just runs right in, that time unmolested, and gets Bubby Brister. No one blocked him. The offensive line blocked down. Nobody blocks Jerome, and he gets in and gets an easy sack. But this guy's going to develop into a great football player, I think.
Yeah, it might be a little questionable about grasp and control, those terms used by NFL
they're protecting
officials.
Quarterbacks now, and that's the result of it.
2nd down. On the draw, Warren Hodge, Merrill Hodge, pardon me, has a lot of running room and picks up about 15 yards. Clyde Simmons hauls him down. It'll still leave 3rd and about 9.
Hey, they could have called in the grasp on this one. You see Bubby Brister, he's dropping back the handoff, and look who's right after him. That's Jerome Brown again. He gets a hand on him, but he hands off to Merrill Hogue, and Merrill does the rest of it. He does a nice little outside run there. Merrill Hodge, excuse me. I always told myself I'm going to call you Hodge during the game, so
Close enough.
I cleared it already.
3rd down and 9, and they're at the 35-yard line now of the Philadelphia Eagles. This has been a problem area for these young Steelers. Extra defensive backs, Terry Hogue and William Frizzell in for the Eagles. Quickly out, intended for Williams out of the backfield, and Warren Williams didn't look back in time, or he may have been able to catch that ball.
Well, I think the problem with Seth Joyner, number 59, was putting instant pressure on Bubby Brister from outside on the blitz. Bubby turns around and sees Seth, says either I dump it off or I take the sack. In that case, he dumped it off and got rid of the ball, but Williams didn't have time to turn around on the play.
So the Eagles rush coming through in the last 3 defensive plays, and the field goal try for Anderson will be inside the 43. It'll be a 52-yard attempt for Gary Anderson. Got the foot and has the points. Longest field goal of the season for Gary Anderson. His 11th consecutive here at Three Rivers Stadium gives him a 3-0 lead. Tim Ryan and Dan Jiggetts in Pittsburgh. You see the Eagles lead the all-time series 42-25 with 3 ties. The teams actually merged during the Warriors for one season, 1943. They were known as the Steagles and went 5-4-1 under co-coaches Walt Kiesling and Phil Handler.
And these are the AJR in honor of Mr. Rooney, who passed away earlier this year. And the Eagles are wearing it as well on their helmets.
Nice tribute to a great man, one of the most popular figures in American sports, Art Rooney. Beals returning the kickoff out to the 20-yard line. Stuffed there by 3 eager Steelers special teamers, led by Williams, the running back. So Philadelphia starting at the 20-yard line, and Buddy Ryan has watched his team get off to slow starts in several games this season. The Steelers with a 3-0 lead on a 52-yard field goal by Gary Anderson after the Eagles were stopped on their first series. Byers and Tony, the running backs. That's Byers in motion. Tony battles for about 4 yards out to the 24-yard line. And while we have a moment, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York for an NFL update.
Well, Tim, the Chicago Bears strike first on the Washington Redskins. Tomczak to Gentry, and this reception sets up their touchdown. 7-0. Back to Tim.
Wow, what a nice catch there. Brent Dennis Gentry, the handy guy, not one of their well-known Bears, but a guy who gets it done. Tomczak throwing the ball well. Second down here for the Eagles, and 6 sets. Byers, loose ball. Steelers dive for it. Eagles say they have it, and so do the officials. The ball coughed up by Byers, but recovered by Philadelphia.
It looks like Keith Byers is hurt a little bit on the play. See him limping off. But this is a look at it from the pit now. The one thing you want to watch for is number 50, Dave Remington, the center. Watch him. He gets a great block on the nose tackle there. Gerald Williams takes him out of the play. Now Keith Byers can bend it back in there. But right now, right there, he fumbles the football. It looks like he got a helmet on the football and just popped out on the turf. Recovered by the Eagles.
Alert play by Dave Remington, the center, to come up with the loose ball.
Good block and good recovery.
And 4 from the shotgun now. Tony, first down, Philadelphia to the 32-yard line. And a pretty good lick on Cunningham by the linebacker Hardy Nickerson.
And that's what Randall Cunningham is complaining about. He felt that there was a little extra activity there after he dumped the ball off by Hardy Nickerson.
Sanchez and Delton Hall on the stop.
Number 54 is Hardy Nickerson. You see him right in the middle of your screen. He's the middle linebacker. He comes in on the blitz unmolested. He's missed there by Matt Darwin. And he tumbles over and just kind of grabs Randall there and then gives him that extra little bump. And that's what upset Randall. But you see, he's got his big offensive tackle there, Ron Heller, protecting him.
Looked to me like Nickerson was just trying to get back upfield there. No harm about it. First down at the 31-yard line. Cunningham swings it out to Tony. Waiting for him is the linebacker Hinkle. Make it Michael Haddix on the reception, number 26. Not 25. Haddix coming in to take that pass. Well played by Hinkle. And a gain of only a yard. And Tony apparently shaken up on the last play, and that's why Haddix is in there.
If that keeps up, the Eagles will be running very, very thin on running backs because, as we saw earlier, Keith Byers went over to the sideline.
And they signed this week ex-Steeler Walter Abercrombie, the Steelers' first pick back in 1982, said he might get into the game. They might have to get him in now. 2nd and 9. Tight end Keith Jackson in motion. Pitch out to Byers. Byers trying to cut it upfield. Well defensed again by the Steelers. First hit by Rod Woodson, the cornerback. Very little, if any, gain. Woodson, number 26.
The one dimension that Rod Woodson is bringing to this defense is, number one, he's got a great deal of speed at the cornerback position, but he's also physical enough at the cornerback to come up and make the stop, force the play, and that's something that the Steelers have desperately needed over the last couple of years. You know, you talk about the draft that the Steelers have had. Well, they've really hit on one with this guy, Rod Woodson.
6', 200-pounder Rod Woodson. 2 extra defensive backs in, Lupe Sanchez and Delton Hall on third down. Cunningham flushed, in trouble, and he is dropped back at the 17-yard line. Jerry Reese and the linebacker Hardy Nickerson combining on the tackle.
Now here's a look from the pit. What happens here is, now watch about that yard marker there where the 30-yard line is. That's where that offensive line has got to stop that oncoming rush. It does not. It gets back in Randall's face a little bit. He's got to duck out, try to run around a little bit. Gets away from Aaron Jones, but Hardy Nickerson finds him, as well as Jerry Reese.
So again, the Steelers stop Philadelphia. Telchik hits it from the 7. A low kick, not a good one, but it takes an Eagle bounce. Taken by Woodson. And again, Pittsburgh with good field position inside Philadelphia territory at the 48-yard line. We'll return to Three Rivers Stadium. Pittsburgh on top, 3-0.
There's that Pittsburgh defense. They're getting everything squared away on the sideline. The thing I always wondered about those, who gets to sit down and how come other guys have to stand up on the sideline? You know what I mean? We used to fight over the bench sometimes when it got real cold. You had that heated bench down there.
You see the linebackers getting some instruction there from Jed Hughes, the linebacker coach. Bubby Brister, last week against Cincinnati, 11 of 29. Not a good day for him, but he had a lot of company in that department. Bengals wallop the Steelers 42-7. First down at the 48-yard line of the Eagles. Merrill Hodge. Good for about 3 to the 45-yard line where Clyde Simmons made the stop. Merrill Hodge, a 6'2", 205-pounder in his second year. 11th pick by the Steelers a year ago, but they really like what this young man can do. He came from a smaller school, Idaho State. He's got 302 yards rushing, 26 catches, 46 yards against Cincinnati last week in the losing cause. And we mentioned, built himself up in the offseason and can block, catch, and run. That's what you want. Second down at 7. Brister audibling here, and you can see the backs changing their formation.
And the wide receivers moving out as well.
Hodge, a big hole. What a nice call by Brister. First down, Steelers to the 35-yard line, tripped up by Andre Waters.
Now, Tim, what's happening here is, now watch as the players run. Watch these linebackers clear out, and then you're going to see Hodge run up in there. And there's not going to be a linebacker to make the play. Both of them get blocked out. Both the offensive guards turn him outside, and Hodge just runs right through there. No problem at all, at least until he hits the secondary.
Excellent play, and the call on the audible by Brister. First down at the 35-yard line. Steelers leading 3-0 on the 52-yard field goal by Gary Anderson. Hodge getting plenty of work.
And Jerome Brown getting plenty of work, number 99 on the defense, came in and made the stop on that play. One of the things you look for in a defensive lineman is not only his ability to rush the passer, but he's got to play the run down as well. And that's one of the things that Jerome Brown does so well. You see him come back from some games. He has a slightly off game. He'll come back and get 10 tackles in the next ball game. He's a smart player, smart down lineman. That's the thing that Buddy Ryan likes so much about him.
The Eagles currently ranked number 26 in the league in defense. And of course, those are not Buddy Ryan type numbers from his years with the Chicago Bears, but he does correctly point out that a lot of the passing yards have come because the Eagles themselves haven't run the ball well until last week. Games turn into passing efforts. A lot of yardage gets piled up. Brister takes off. Short of the first down by about a yard, but he's got the Steelers down to the 26 of Philadelphia. Eric Allen steered him out.
Bubby Brister saw some running room over there on the right side. Now he's going to pull out on a waggle type pass on the left side of your screen. You can watch him roll out, pull out there. Now he's just going to step up for a second look. Can't find a receiver. Hey, run with the ball. So that little pump fake to set the defensive backs up. And now he's just going to take off and try to get that first down. Got a nice little block downfield as well.
Extra tight end Mike Kinnan comes in, the rookie from Temple, to make double tight here on 3rd and short. Bubby Brister, great admirer, Terry Bradshaw, but says, I'm no Bradshaw. Hodge breaks loose, nearly got to the end zone, hauled down at the 12-yard line by Reggie White, who came all the way from left defensive end to save it.
Nice little plunge play here, and Merrill just comes off right off that left tackle position, and he just takes it right through that crease. Now watch him plunge through the offensive line, missed tackle there, and now extra effort gets him downfield. He's finally tackled by Reggie White.
Terry Long is down and injured for the Steelers. Will return to Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
Penn State collides with top-ranked Notre Dame. Then the battle for the Big 8, Nebraska, Oklahoma. A blockbuster doubleheader next Saturday on CBS Sports.
You want to know why Merle Hodge was effective inside? Watch this block by Blankenship and also Wolfley at the point of attack. Wolfley gets actually a pancake block here on the linebacker, takes him down to the ground, and that's Reichenbach. He just takes him right down to the ground. Merle does a nice job after he gets through the line of scrimmage, making that extra yardage on second effort.
So the Steelers with a first down at the 12-yard line, and you can see that so far the rushing game of the Steelers has really been the dominant action that we've seen in the early going. And they are deep in Eagles territory. Lewis slips. He can throw the ball. Touchdown. Merrill Hodge. Lewis slips on a reverse option pass.
The Steelers told us the other day that they have been working on this play. Little razzle-dazzle here. Lewis Lips comes in motion. Now he's going to get it on the reverse. He's got 2 guards out in front of him. Pulls up. He has a great arm, man. Throws it to Merrill Hodge in the end zone. They told us they've been working on some razzle-dazzle down there on the goal line. And indeed, it's very effective for him today.
Anderson with a point after. And the Steelers have taken a 10-zip lead. 2:55 to go. First quarter in Pittsburgh. It was a Saturday night in 1954 at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. The quarterback is Jim Finks. Pretty handy. L.B. Nickel catches a 52-yard touchdown pass. The Steelers go on to beat the Eagles 17-7. Jim Finks now the general manager of the New Orleans Saints.
And he was our general manager in Chicago. And you see that white ball? They had a white football in. Jim looked a little slow on the drop back, too. Yeah, night game, fluorescent football.
Okay, the Steelers have scored. Lips to Hodge from 13 yards away. And the Eagles will have to crank it up. Beals returns out to the 29-yard line of Philadelphia. And 48 yards in 6 plays for the touchdown, using up 2:55 on the clock. The Eagles have been stopped on their first 2 offensive possessions. And Randall Cunningham is used to this, but you don't like to be.
Yeah, you keep spotting teams 10 points, 14 points. It's going to get a little rough when it takes its toll on your offense at some point or another.
Cunningham 3 of 4 passing for just 8 yards in those first 2 series. Chris Carter in motion. Andrew Toney. Toney runs off tackle right for a gain of about 5, maybe 6. Hardy Nickerson, second-year man from California, number 54 on the tackle. There's a young man that Coach Knoll thinks very highly of. There are a lot of good young players on this team, and it's tough on the fans and tough on the media, I guess. I don't know what's tough on the media, but you expect that they're going to react to a young team with a 2-8 record. But if they look down the road a little bit, there's a fair amount of talent on this squad. 2nd and 5. Toney again has the first down to the 40-yard line. So the Eagles go to the run and do it effectively. Woodson and Everett on the tackle.
And you see the total offense on the day. Philadelphia falling way behind. It's been 3 and out for the Philadelphia offense. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, has had a couple of nice drives on the day, and they've gotten 10 points out of those drives.
Well, and starting from midfield makes things a little
well, a little field
too.
position never hurt the offense.
For sure. So it's first down Eagles at the 40-yard line of Philadelphia.
You know, what you saw in that last play, though, is what the Steelers are not doing on the backside of plays is staying at home, and as a result, you'll see the Philadelphia running backs cutting back a great deal to get yardage.
They'll run it again. Byers gets a good block. Good recovery by the Steelers. Holds them to a gain of about 4. Woodruff on the stop. Initial hit by the linebacker Nickerson, and then Lloyd and Woodruff combined to haul him down.
What you've got to do if you want to run sweeps and be effective on the corners of a defense is that you have to seal it inside. And so far, the Eagles have not been able to seal an outside play, seal it up inside to allow the running back to get outside, get some separation, some spacing out there on the corner.
Anthony Henton has come in to replace Greg Lloyd at right outside linebacker. Lloyd bothered with a bit of a knee injury, and they had moved Jones away from that spot to defensive end. So a little shuffling already by the Steelers. Tony breaks the tackle, and on his own effort gets a couple. Initial hit made by Woodson, I believe. No, check it, by number 29, Cornell Gowdy, 29. And then he was hauled down by Nickerson. It'll be third down and about 4. So Tony continuing the good running that he displayed last week against the Rams, and the Eagles running game looking a little more solid now in this series.
Well, what they wanted to get that time was Matt Darwin, number 78, out leading the play, and he had a little problem getting out. Tony was right behind him. Again, we talk about spacing. When you pull outside, you want that running back swinging out wide, setting it up for the offensive line, and then coming up.
Well, that'll wind up the first period here at Three Rivers Stadium, and the Steelers, the 2-8 team, has a 10-0 lead over the Philadelphia Eagles, who really need this one.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. And by Miller Lite, official sponsor of the Miller Lite NFL Lineman of the Year Award. Miller Brewing is the exclusive beer sponsor of today's telecast.
Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts back here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh under cloudy skies. The Steelers, who have been taking a battering in the local media, have a 10-0 lead over the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia ball, third down and 4 at the 47-yard line. Haddix is in with Byers now. Deep drop for Cunningham under pressure. Has his man for a first down. It's Michael Haddix, number 26, the 6-year veteran running back.
The thing that Randall Cunningham does so well is react to pressure. Now, he's right in the middle of your screen. You see him. He's got the ball back in the shotgun position. Avoids the sack there, runs outside, now throws back across his body, and is successful on getting it downfield to Michael Haddix, who makes a nice catch on the play, by the way. Came back to that ball a little bit, got to the open spot, and then goes and catches the football. But Randall Cunningham is dangerous when he pulls outside. That's when he worries defense, and you try to contain him as much as possible, keep him from rolling out.
He's just dangerous, period. He's throwing the ball so well, and he is playing with such confidence. Play action, buys himself some time, now flushed. Sliding, hit from behind, and picked up about 7, maybe 8 on the play. Greg Lloyd on the tackle, number 95.
And Greg was chasing him all the way across the field. He's probably going, I can't believe this quarterback's that fast. After a while, you run out of a little bit of gas going to that sideline. But you saw the thing that Randall did. He tried to hook slide down in there and get the first down. Smart running by a quarterback, a young quarterback who wants to keep himself healthy. And here you see his numbers, and they are fabulous in terms of the rush so far this year. As a matter of fact, he's second on the team in rushing yardage.
Second down and 3 for the Eagles at the 33-yard line. Remington checking the snap count with Cunningham. Dave Remington just came over from Cincinnati, and they dropped him. That is Haddix. Short of the first down, but not by much. David Little made the tackle. Let's see where they spot it. It'll leave about a yard. Now they're moving the spot on the far side.
If you're going to run that draw play up on your offensive line, you've got to set it up a little bit more to get more of a reaction out of the linebackers. And the other thing is, if the linebackers are playing man-to-man on your running backs, it's very difficult to run a draw. And that time you saw the linebackers were playing man-to-man coverage.
They're going to measure this, and they had started to move the sticks on the far side of the field. They measured from the near side, and it is a first down at the 30-yard line.
You know, you get the feeling in talking to Chuck Noll, the fact that he doesn't take a whole lot of this stuff that's been flying around him, all the controversy, very seriously. He knows what his job is. He's been here for 20-some years. He says, hey, look, I'm just going to settle down and do my job and let those other people worry about whatever they want to say.
First down, Eagles. Cunningham, he has Keith Jackson, the tight end, for a gain of 8. Stopped by Dwayne Woodruff and Hardy Nickerson. Keith Jackson, 54 catches. Second in the NFC coming into the game.
And it was Ted Plum, the offensive coordinator for the Eagles. He's giving the play, I believe that's to Matt Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh signaling in, and Randall Cunningham was telling us he had a problem last week getting some of the signals from Matt because he had to go back and check one more time to make sure. And a lot of people thought that Randall was checking off and calling his own play. Once again, they went back and did it again. He had to get it a second time. Gets cold. Those quarterbacks don't like to take their hands out of those jackets.
Second down. A long 2 for the Eagles. Byers in traffic, picks his way close to the first down, but he'll be likely short by a little bit, again, depending on the spot.
Once again, a good block by Dave Remington. Took Gerald Williams out of the play, and you saw Gerald kind of floating back across your screen. It's because Remington had great position on him.
Hinkle and Het made the tackle for the Steelers. They send on Lorenzo Freeman, along with the linebacker Greg Carr on this third down and 1 play. Lloyd comes out, 3rd and short. First down for Michael Haddix. And the Eagles keep it going inside the 20 of Pittsburgh.
The one thing you want your running backs to do when they have to get that first down, you saw Haddix do it on that play, is when they get near that first down yard marker, you want them to put their head down and become like a guided missile until they get across that yard marker that gets you the first down. And that's what Michael Haddix did. Some running backs will come through and try to pick and scoot through there. That's not going to work on that kind of play. You just get the first down. That's what's important.
11th play of this drive for the Eagles, and has been mainly effective on the ground. Jackson in motion. Chris Carter down close to the 2-yard line. Cornell Gowdy and Thomas Everett stopped them there. He would have had 6.
And Randall Cunningham on a 3-step drop. Quick pop in here to Chris Carter. 1, 2, 3. Looks downfield. Looks off the receiver. Now comes back to him. That's the one thing he talked about doing now that he said he didn't do before. Is now he's looking off a receiver and not eyeballing that receiver so the defensive backs can't key on him.
In fact, it sounded when he was talking to us about it like he's enjoying the little game that he's playing with those secondary men. Freeman comes into the defensive lineup on the goal line. Byers bashes into the end zone. Touchdown. So the Eagles with an impressive series, running it on the ground and making a couple of key passes, have cut the margin to 4.
The Eagles decide to go right over Dave Alexander and Matt Darwin over on that left side. They get good blocking up front, good blocking from the tight end. Keith Byers takes a Sunday stroll until he gets to the goal line, and then he gets punished a little bit, but he broke the plane of the goal line and then fell back inside. Now, another look at it. Watch that blocking on the left side of that line. Darwin takes his guy to the ground. Byers punishes the linebacker, and Hardy Nickerson, and now watch that little second effort that got him back into the end zone.
Luis Zendejas for the point after, and it is good. So we have a 10-7 football game. And the Eagles starting to get it cooking here in Pittsburgh. 10:30 to go, first half. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts back in Pittsburgh. The Eagles have just scored a 1-yard touchdown by Keith Byers. And Cunningham 6 of 7 now passing, cutting the margin to 10-7, and it looked like the running games of both teams have been what the coaches wanted to establish, the old cliche, but they're both running effectively, Dan.
Well, that's the thing you always look for. If you can establish a running game, that leads directly into the passing game and the play-action passes. So far, both teams have been effective in doing that.
Well, for the Eagles, the feeling that they're getting used to having to come from behind, but as Dan pointed out, you want to have to do that too frequently. You've got a young team here in Pittsburgh that's playing a lot more relaxed and a lot more loose this week. Bubby Brister saying yesterday, a couple of weeks ago, things were pretty tight around here. And with the way things were going, they weren't having a whole lot of fun.
Well,
but this week, once you go to 2-8, you say you're out of it, take the pressure off, and go out there and enjoy the game.
And tell players to look for improvement in their own game now. You know, that's the one thing you want to look for, is to keep after your own game and make sure you stay on top of it, because they're going to make some personnel decisions at the end of the year, and you want to make sure you're on the right side of those decisions.
Well, the Eagles don't want the Steelers to be too relaxed out here today, because this is a huge game for Philadelphia. Woodson returning the kickoff of Zendejas to the 36-yard line. Well, next Saturday, we've got a tremendous college football doubleheader for you. In the first game, Penn State, a lot of fans looking in, fans of the Nittany Lions. They'll be taking on #1 ranked Notre Dame at 12 Eastern time. And that'll be followed at 3:30 by the game for the Big 8 title and a trip to the Orange Bowl. #7 Nebraska against #8 Oklahoma. Next Saturday here on CBS Sports. First down, Steelers, their own 36.
You know, that's a big game because you went to Notre Dame, right, Tim?
Well, yeah, but it's big for the Nittany Lion fans, too, Dan. I mean, after all, they got beat by Pittsburgh yesterday. The big weekend of Pennsylvania football here. Warren Williams, high-stepping it. Loose ball, but play whistled dead at the 40-yard line of the Eagles. Todd Bell made the tackle. Warren Williams, the rookie from Miami.
Key block here is going to be by the fullback. Now, he's going to come up in this area on a lead block and throw the lead block, and that's going to spring Williams into the secondary of the Eagles. There it is right now, right there, that lead block by number 33, Hodge, and that springs Williams out, and now he does a nice second effort deal down here downfield.
Warren Williams, 6', 205-pounder. Good piece of running. First down, Steelers. Hodge breaks a tackle at the 40 and picks up another 2 or 3. Roynell Young made the stop, but he ran right over Andre Waters.
One of the things that Hodge has is that low center of gravity. Now watch him, number 33 here. It's going to come in. Now watch that low center of gravity. Guys are hitting his shoulder pads. There you see those hits on the shoulder pads. He bounces off. You can't get to his legs unless you go low, right, just like that. And that's what's going to be effective against him. If you hit him up top, that low center of gravity makes it very difficult to stop him.
You can see Pittsburgh really doing a job on the ground here. This Eagles line, usually tough to run against, but linebackers in secondary, not so well regarded by other teams. Brister, wide open, Hodge to the 12-yard line. Hopkins and Waters made the stop. 25-yard gain.
Key to this play, Bubby Brister sets back deep like he's supposed to at 9 to 10 yards. Is very calm in the pocket and picks out Hodge coming across. Hodge again, low to the ground, gets that extra little yardage. And then you see Bubby Brister, he's a little pleased with that play. Yeah, roll it up, baby.
Now, Bubby Brister, as we said earlier, doesn't want to be compared with Bradshaw. Really his idol. In fact, they talk a couple of times a week. A couple of old Louisiana boys. Play action. Brister with a flag down, in and out of the hands of Weegie Thompson. Thompson dropped a sure touchdown pass. But we'll see what the flag is. Referee Fred Wyatt will deliver the verdict after discussion with the field judge. That is Don Orr, number 77.
There's a holding in the secondary down. You wonder how come there's holding in the secondary when you get down close to the goal line, because that receiver can only run so far before he reaches the back of the end zone.
Holding number 44, first down.
Now, something else that happened on the play is Clyde Simmons. You're going to see him right in the middle of your screen jump up and watch him try to throw that little kick out there at Bubby Brister. He thought he was going to throw the ball, and that's what you do like in basketball. You kick that foot out to try to knock it down. He got good elevation on the play there. Maybe the Sixers will look at him.
Perhaps. I thought they called that on number 44, the way it sounded there from referee Wyatt. There is no 44. It might have been Terry Hogue. Nonetheless, it's first down. Steelers inside the 10. Brister rolling. Incomplete. Intended for Preston Gothard, the tight end, number 86. And the pass a little low. He could not grab it. You can see a lot of casual water on the field out there. It did rain here overnight and this morning. Yeah, the water is sitting on the carpet here at Three Rivers Stadium, so you're going to see the odd splash, and it does make the footwork a little dicey.
Well, I was down on the field earlier, and if you try to stop immediately on that field, it's very slippery. As a matter of fact, I think they've got some plans to replace this AstroTurf in here because it's been at Three Rivers for quite some time.
I was down there earlier myself and I ruined a pair of shoes.
Oh, poor Tim.
Second and goal. Williams stopped at the 5-yard line after a gain of about 2.
One of the things that a young running back has to learn is how to follow his blocks. Now watch, in this area right in here, that's where you're going to see 2 trap blocks take place. And the problem with Williams is he doesn't follow the blocking and split the 2 trap blocks right there. See, he just heads up into the end zone. Instead, he turns inside where they're defenders. You got to take that block and just follow those linemen and break open as soon as you see that opening in the offensive line. That time he didn't do it. He had a chance to score on the play.
Terry Hogue and William Frizzell in the secondary for the Eagles here on 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Looking for pass. Brister knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Jerome Brown or Mike Pitts. Might have been Pitts who got the hand on it. Number 74.
I'm sure Jerome will take credit for it if you let him.
Well, he was doing the hand waving afterwards, but I think it was Pitts who got it. Big defensive play by the Eagles. 4th down, and Anderson will come on for Pittsburgh.
Tim, one thing to look for here on field goals is Buddy Ryan teams very traditionally have rushed field goals and extra points very well by picking out one guy on your offensive line they feel they can block the ball over.
194 consecutive points after for Anderson, and he goes to 195, the longest current streak. Pardon me, a field goal, 21-yard field goal makes it 13-7.
The Eagles going after their 2nd Giant victory this season, but the Giants are going after revenge next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts, and there's a look at that NFC East division. You can see the Eagles still very much in the picture, but they must win. And there are the remaining games. They're all within their own division. 2 of them against Phoenix, and the Cardinals playing awfully well these days. Anderson's kickoff. Another deep one comes down, this time a yard deep, and it's Beals who will bring it out. And Beals gets close to the 20-yard line. Driven back there. So Gary Anderson's 21-yard field goal makes it 13-7. Pittsburgh, 6:51 to go in the first half. We're trying to turn his 3-pointer into a 1-pointer. But for Anderson, his 2nd field goal of the day. Andrew Toney is getting his hand taped. They went in and x-rayed his hand. Anthony Toney, pardon me, a few plays ago, and it looks like he might get back into the game now.
Yeah, it looks like they're putting a temporary type of a little cast on that hand.
Play action, Cunningham intended for Haddix, incomplete. A little low, a little behind him, and a hit there for good measure by Woodruff.
Those are the kinds of plays where you might lose a run.
The Eagles. They trail 13-7. Slot. Cunningham is in the grab. Sacked at the 22-yard line. Extra going on here.
Ron, smart thing, did not respond. Jones extra activity on the field, and as a result, Jones was going to get the penalty on the play.
Well, but it was Heller who had knocked Jones down after the play was over. That's what got Jones riled up. Let's watch it.
Left side of your screen. Now watch the action between number 97 and number 73. That's Jones and Heller. Heller's got great position on him, a good pop there, and now Jones comes back and tries to go to the head, misses it. Now Heller throws him down on the ground, and Jones responds in kind. Now, if you're a rookie, you know you can't get away with this kind of stuff wide open out in the field. You see Heller takes it easy. There was no flag until that time.
Let's see how they sort it out here down there.
It out as they gave a 15-yard penalty to the...
So Haddix still going for Anthony. Picks up close to 2 play.
Now he gets that field a couple extra yards out of the play.
I noticed that he doesn't wear
Just called his 3 wideouts in the ball game, and that's what you're going to see offensively for the Steelers. Now, likewise, the Eagles see that happening, and they send in their extra defensive backs.
a lot of confidence in this first half, but throwing the ball well. 4 of 7 passing. They need to get to the 8-yard line for a first down, and that one behind the receiver lips. Incomplete. Bring up 4th down. So Gary Anderson will come on.
Bubby gets it rather animated with himself, by the way, because he knows that if he led Lewis just about a yard more on that play, Lewis quite possibly could have gotten into the end zone.
Gary Anderson, he's got 2 field goals already today, a 52-yarder, a 21-yarder. And has 11 in a row. Make it 12 now. 12 in a row here at home. Make it 13. From 29 yards away, Anderson does the job again. And so Pittsburgh has moved back on top. 55 seconds left to play first half. So here's another flashback involving these two teams against each other. 1964. Watch this. That interception right there is made by Irv Cross, our own CBS sportsman. A 94-yard return for a touchdown led the Eagles to a 34-10 win. The second longest interception return for a touchdown in Eagle history.
I'm going to have to argue with Irv on that one. I thought he stepped out of bounds at about the 30.
You can have that argument with him. Well, you'll see at halftime, along with Brent and Dick on the NFL. Activities around the league. Returning to about the 8th line.
That's why we're getting those names. There's Hogan. We got Hodge on the other side for the Steelers. But it looks like he might have a knee injury, and it looks fairly serious.
Well, the Hodge, for those of you in the Philadelphia area, may not know how it's spelled. It's spelled H-O-G-E, so if you just read it some, maybe it is Hogue, but it's pronounced Hodge, and he is having himself quite a first half here. Merrill Hodge out of Idaho State. Meanwhile, Terry Hogue gets field, and the Eagles have 50 seconds to work some Cunningham magic, trailing 16-14. Halftime, the NFL will also a special by 11. Falcons defensive Tony Casillas, victim of stress. Find out. The NFL coming up at halftime.
Sometimes you have to expect the lower right side of this play. For on the saying
top pick, Aaron Jones.
Now the problem for Jones is he runs into Randall Cunningham here just as Randall releases the football, tries to slide off of him, and I think someone fell down on the back of his leg, and that's exactly, you can see him writhing in pain down on the field. What happened? Somebody else fell over the back of him.
Yeah, somebody got knocked into him, and he was already on top of Cunningham, and so was unable to react.
And then downfield, you saw some other action down on the field. Dwayne Woodruff comes in and really jams it to Chris Carter while he's down on the ground. All you have to do is touch that guy down there. And Woodruff just got his law degree just past the bar here. Can't believe a lawyer's doing that, all that kind of stuff out on the field.
Well, as long as Carter doesn't get one of his own, he hasn't got too much to worry about. Meanwhile, Aaron Jones is going to make it to his feet under his own power.
The gentleman from Opopka, Florida. Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about a guy that's built. This guy has a body by Fisher. Funniest thing is they always tease him about his language, and he comes out and he's talking to us and he keeps going, well, dang, I saw that. They say he's got a lot of country in his voice, but he's a great young man and very enjoyable.
Delightful young guy. Eagles, meanwhile, have the first down out at the 44-yard line of Philadelphia. 20 seconds to make something happen here before halftime. Jerry Reese has come in for Aaron Jones, another rookie from Kentucky. Fifth choice of the Steelers this year for 64. Of course, they're missing their outstanding pass rusher Keith Willis and linebacker Mike Merriweather. Cunningham out to Haddix. Haddix has another first down, working the middle of the field. And timeout called by the Eagles at the Pittsburgh 44-yard line. 13 seconds remains.
In a 2-minute situation, you're usually going to be able to throw to the middle of the field. Why? Because the defense says, well, if you throw to the middle of the field, you either have to burn a timeout or you're going to use up a lot of the clock trying to get back up and get another first down. So they're going to allow you to throw to the middle of the field. What they will try to avoid is letting you throw that out pattern where you can get the positive yardage and stop the clock. So that's what the Steelers' thinking is, just keep them in the middle of the field. And as a result, now the Eagles have 13 seconds remaining. And they're at about their 45.
Discussion with Ted Plum, the offensive coordinator. Buddy Ryan, Randall Cunningham is back and ready to go here.
So I'm checking there on the timeouts, wanted to make sure he still has one left, which he does.
The ball is at the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh. 13 seconds left. First down, Philadelphia. Wide left comes Ron Johnson. Wide to the right, Chris Carter. Cunningham, lots of time. He's got a man open. He dropped the ball. Jackson. Keith Jackson at the 25-yard line. Ball was right there, and he just wanted to run with it.
Keith Jackson was too open on the play. He stops along the sideline. He's got everything all set over there. He's trying to run with the football before he catches it, and as a result, he drops the football and gets the Eagles out of what could have been a nice play there. It put him in great position, at least to attempt a field goal.
Now down to 7 seconds. The clock stopped on the incompletion. Sideliner, Haddix stops it with 3 seconds left to the 38-yard line, just outside the 38 of Pittsburgh.
Sendejas will have to try from there, but that's awfully long for him.
Luis Sendejas has a long of 50 this season. He is 11 of 14 on the season, including his earlier stint with the Dallas Cowboys before joining the Eagles, where he has been red hot. And they will spot it at the 46-yard line. So we're looking at a 56-yard attempt for Luis Sendejas. Well short. Did not get a good look at it. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 2-8 team, take a lead into the locker room at halftime over the Philadelphia Eagles, who this one desperately, 16-14.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Citizen. No other watch expresses time more beautifully. Levi's 505 and 506 jeans. And by Toyota. There's quality. Who could ask for anything more? Blue.
welcome back to New York, everybody. Well, Dick, you know, President-elect Bush wanted a kinder, gentler nation, but the Washington Redskins didn't have to take him at heart right now.
Tell me about it. The Bears are taking it to him. I mean, it's going good so far, but I know Irv's going to say, well, there's, you know, another half and all that business.
Yeah, there is another half, but the Bears' defense has been unbelievable. 49 yards of total offense for the Redskins, and the Redskins also had 50 yards in penalties in the first half. -1 yard.
And a 17-zip score for a while, and then right in the final moments there, it made it 20-0, and Mike Ditka enjoying himself on the sideline. Here's the pass play that set up their first touchdown. Tom Zach to Gentry, 45 yards. And Irv, what happened in this Dexter Manley situation here with the quarterback?
Something you rarely see. A double penalty on the same player. Manley rushing the quarterback here grabs Tom Zach's face mask. Right there, he gets hit with a face mask penalty. Dexter's not finished yet, though. He's down on the ground. Now watch this. He gives Tom Zach a little extra effort there with his foot, and the official calls personal foul, roughing the passer. They marched off 20 yards against the Redskins, and Joe Gibbs, when he saw that second penalty assessed, went crazy.
He was imitating Coach Ditka, who took the time to sit down and relax a little bit over there on the sideline, and Suey pounded in for their second touchdown. And again, they have taken a 20-0 lead here at the half. All right, let's take a look at Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. The Steelers kick a field goal just moments ago to go up 16-14 at the half. And watch Lewis Lips on the end around. He'll throw it. Hodges got it. A touchdown. And that did not please you-know-who over there on the Eagles sideline. But for Buddy, Keith Byers got in from 1 yard out. Then I want you to see this next bit of action. The Rocket Man, Randall Cunningham. Here's why he is such a great performer. Watch what he does down here going into the end zone. Take it in there, airborne for 6. Rocket Man, 7-yard touchdown run. He did it the hard way. Irv, why were the Steelers fired up so much when this game began?
Well, earlier in the week, there was a story that hit the Pittsburgh press that said the Eagles were using this game as a tune-up for next week's game. They thought Buddy Ryan had said that. Buddy denied it, so we didn't say it, but the Steelers came out really steamed up.
Dick, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about Buddy.
Well, you know, in our pregame show, we talked about Chuck Noll with Pittsburgh, but now the latest rumors have it that Buddy Ryan might be, you know, his contract might be up or whatever, and there's this, the owner is a good friend with Jimmy Johnson, the coach down in Miami. And I think, you know, you doing those college games, you've been hearing rumors, too.
Yeah, they've been talking a lot about Jimmy Johnson. What about Norm Brayman? He lives down in Miami.
Well, Norm Brayman lives down. He's close to Miami. But I talked to Harry Gamble this morning, the president of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he said that Buddy Ryan is in the 3rd year of a 5-year contract. That's it. We haven't said anything about replacing him. He's our coach. Very good, guys.
Irv and Dick, let's take a look at the rest of the scores for everybody right now. Cincinnati comes back with a touchdown to take a 14-9 lead on the Chiefs, who settle for 3 field goals. In a driving rainstorm in the Meadowlands, the Jets are shutting out the Patriots 3-0. Indianapolis over Green Bay 13-3 at the half. Tampa Bay and Detroit are tied at 10. San Diego has shut down Atlanta and Chris Miller completely. They lead it by a field goal, and we'll continue right after these messages from your local station.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. CBS Sports coverage of NFL football will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chrysler. Chrysler believes a luxury car should be a great driving car. At Chrysler, we're driving to be the best. Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft taste is as real as it gets. Miller Brewing is the exclusive beer sponsor of today's telecast. And by UPS, we deliver to every address in the U.S. and to 41 countries worldwide.
Tim Ryan and Dan Jiggetts back here at Three Rivers Stadium, where the Steelers lead 16-14 at halftime. And the most surprising number statistically, 118 rushing yards for the Steelers. And Dan, I have to believe that the Eagles didn't really expect the Steelers to run as often or as successfully. What will they do in the second half to stop that?
I think what you'll see is more forcing by the secondary of the Eagles to try to stop Merle Hogue in particular, because he's the guy that's been hurting them. I'll get his name right before the end of the day. But that's what they've got to do. They've got to put pressure up there very quickly from the safeties.
Well, now, on the other hand, their front four is a brutally good front four, and yet so far the offensive line of the Steelers has been able to open things up in that area at the line of scrimmage to get those. Down into the linebackers and secondaries who have to make the tackles.
Well, one of the problems you have is the defensive line when you're playing against a team that traps a lot. Is not that many teams run as many traps as the Steelers do, and your guy. Your two defensive tackles get a little leery of coming in there because they're going to get their knees hurt on those plays.
Well, here we go, second half. Zendejas kickoff, a good one to the goal line, taken there by Woodson. Woodson picks his way out over the 15, but there are 4, 5, 6 unmolested Eagles there. Not a good return effort by the Steelers. Evans, the linebacker, the reserve linebacker, made the initial hit. So the Steelers will start from their 16 here. Bubby Brister brings them on. And Bubby Brister in the first half did a good job for the Steelers. Didn't throw all that often, but 4 of 9 for 64 yards, a couple of key first down pass completions. And he's got his team on top 16-14. Warren Williams, the Miami rookie, hit by Reggie White after a gain of about 4.
Take away the passing game and a guy like Reggie White, it gets difficult for him to get noticed because the one thing that he does, he brings a lot of heat in the passing game, but when you can keep running all day as the Steelers have and trapping, it makes it very difficult for a guy like him to pop up to the top like he likes to.
Came into the game with 76 tackles, among the leaders on the Eagles in that department. Second down, 6. Lips in motion. Williams again gets a couple. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage as he tried to cut.
Now, on that play, Reggie White escaped on Tunch Ilkin. What he did is he gave him a little arm over technique. Now, watch this right off the line of scrimmage. Ilkin's number 62. You see that arm over technique. Trap on the play. They tried to trap. Brown, who did get trapped, but Reggie almost makes the play on the backside.
Extra wide receivers in now on third down and 4. Charles Lockett, number 89. To number 85. Hogue into the secondary for the Eagles. Brister, sideline is open, and it's complete to Lewis Lips for a first down, Pittsburgh. The 32-yard line of the Steelers.
Lewis Lips runs very crisp patterns. Here he is at the bottom of your screen, number 83. Good move off the line of scrimmage, no jam to speak of, and that leaves him wide open on the out pattern. Now Hopkins has got to get some hands on him and prevent him from getting that out pattern that easily. You got to stop that guy up there at the top. Excuse me, Randall Young. He's got to put some hands on him right there at the top of the play.
Well, he didn't do it. Lips escaped, and it is first down, Pittsburgh. Your play action. Brister going deep for Lips, and it is broken up. The ball hung a little bit. Randall Young batted it down. A long incompletion.
Now that's the kind of play you want out of a guy like Randall Young. You saw him take it all the way down the field and slap the ball away at the last second. Good tight coverage on the play on Lewis Lips by Randall Young. Here we go in isolation. Lewis Lips goes down on that go pattern. You see him, he's just taking off. Randall step for step with him, gets behind him so he can get in position. He knows he's got deep help from Wes Hopkins and slaps the ball away. That's the way the defensive backs are supposed to play that.
2nd and 10 for the Steelers. They lead by 2. 16 to 14. Draw play. Hodge, and the Eagles read that. Clyde Simmons stayed right at home and made the tackle. The right defensive end, number 96.
Clyde Simmons is another one of those guys on the defensive line of the Eagles who very quietly does a very efficient job on that defensive front.
Bears have widened their lead and shutting out Washington 20 to zip. Cincinnati leading Kansas City in a low-scoring effort there. Jets in New England. Tampa Bay and Detroit tied at halftime. 3rd down. Williams off the wing, now lines up the block. He'll slip out, but a sack by Simmons on Brister. Big loss all the way back near the 15-yard line of the Steelers.
Now, Clyde Simmons is up at the top of your screen. Watch him right here on that rush. Now, what happens is you got those other guys, Jerome Brown inside along with Pitts and White. Now, he escapes right off of there off Craig Wolfley on the outside, comes in and makes the sack. This guy's a good football player. A lot of people don't notice him because Reggie White and Jerome Brown, but he can play.
Newsom's punt up, boomer. Good job by Mark Konechny as he eluded the first 2 tacklers. A 46-yard punt by Newsom. The return to the 44 of Philadelphia. Next Saturday on CBS Sports, college football doubleheader action at high noon. Number 1 ranked Notre Dame looks to continue toward its first national championship since 1977 against traditional rival Penn State. Then in game 2, the game for the Big 8 title and a trip to the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma's high-powered offense against traditional rival Nebraska in its offensive juggernaut led by quarterback Steve Taylor. Don't miss our classic doubleheader next Saturday on CBS Sports. On 1st down, Michael Haddock, still going for the injured Anthony Toney, picks up a couple. Toney, if you joined us along the way, suffered a fractured hand in the first half. Will not be back, and Michael Haddock's number 26 taking over for him.
When you think about the success last week against the Rams that the Eagles experienced, you have to look at that front line. And finally, they've gotten a group together that is going to try to get a couple of games under their belt as one unit without having to change 3 or 4 people along that line. You got Alexander back in there now, and I know they're happy about that. They'd rather have Salt back as well, but he's on IR. 2 knee operations to come.
Cunningham complete to the tight end Jimmy Giles, making his first catch of the day. Picked up about 4 yards, maybe 5. It'll leave 3rd and a long 2 for the Eagles.
When you look at a guy like Giles, you say, well, how come the Eagles pick up a player like Giles? Well, you think that the fact that he's got experience, he can catch the football, he keeps himself in great shape, and he develops that loyalty to the team and to the coaching staff for bringing him in and giving him another shot. And he certainly has done everything they've asked of him this year.
Extra defensive backs in for the Steelers. Sanchez and Hall, along with linebacker Greg Lloyd. Cunningham, he'll get the first down running, sliding into the 40-yard line. Just pumped once, saw he had plenty of room to get the first down, and made the decision quickly. Hardy Nickerson covered him when he slid to a stop.
And then at the end of the play, he got up and he talked a little trash to Rod Woodson because Rod tried to stick him on the way down. and Randall ducked down underneath of it, then got up and pointed at him. But I tell you what, this guy, number 26, can close on you in a hurry. He was about one of the fastest in the National Football League. When he came in second place in that NFL's fastest man contest.
Yeah, fastest man. Did real well in that competition. Beat Willie Golf and loved it. Said Willie didn't like it. Play action, Cunningham. For Carter. Good adjustment by Carter, but he dropped the ball at the 5-yard line. Coverage by Dwayne Woodruff. Carter picked up that outside pass very well, adjusted away from the back, and then dropped it.
Well, Cunningham told us he likes to throw the ball a little bit short so his receivers can come back to the football. That's what Carter does there. I thought he had the ball in the ground, may have popped the ball out, but no, he just let it roll out as he was going down to the ground. Randall Cunningham was talking about how he likes to throw that ball a little short on those long passes.
He's done very well, as you can see here in the short zone, with 11 of 12 completions on the short ones, and has not been downfield very frequently. That time he had a great opportunity, and Carter dropped it. Lots of time for him here to Carter again, broken up. On the coverage, Delton Hall, number 35, the nickelback.
Good play by Delton Hall on that breakup. Now Randall Cunningham back down. Let's see what kind of pressure he gets from the pit. See, Johnson goes down to the turf there. Nothing to speak of. He's got all kinds of time to throw now. A little shot late. But then again, that's the kind of stuff you come to expect as a quarterback. Delton Hall's a guy who the Steelers are really counting on to come a long way. One of the things they said, you see that cast on his right hand, that all of their secondaries had problems with their hands, and as a result, they haven't been able to get the interceptions they wanted. That is the beginning of broken and twisted wrist and all that.
Cunningham flushed and again takes off running. Dives for the first down. Thomas Everett made the tackle, but Cunningham knew exactly where he needed to get to for the first down. A 13-yard run, and the ball now at the Steeler 29.
Okay, Tim, that's a second dive by Randall. We're going to have to start rating these dives now. This one, he gets the first down on. Hey, you can rate it all you want, but you see he drops back in that pocket, takes off almost immediately as he sets up, knows where he has to go to get the first down yardage. Now, when he sees he gets close to it, he just gets airborne once again. That way he avoids getting the shot and goes down to the turf. But he's smart enough to know how to get up in the air and get away from those people.
Cunningham on first down to Jackson. He bobbled it but held on for a gain of close to 8. Artie Nickerson on the tackle. Nickerson has seen plenty of Keith Jackson so far in this ball game, but just as soon not be as busy watching big number 88.
Well, again, if you're playing in that zone, it makes it very difficult to prevent a guy like Jackson from getting downfield because no one's up in the press position on him, getting their hands on him, and stopping him from escaping on that line of scrimmage very quickly. Now, what I suspect you'll see the Steelers do is now they're down in their 22 or so, is they'll start tightening up and going to some man-to-man on him.
Eagles driving, second and a long 3. Slot left. Cunningham wants to change it up, talking to Haddix. For the end zone, touchdown, Keith Byers, but a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Byers wide open, and it's going to come back.
Illegal motion.
And you know everyone wants to know on whom. Unfortunately, we didn't get that call from the official.
I think it might have been Byers himself. Keith Byers, who has become quite a pass receiver this season, 47 catches coming into the game.
Second down.
Well, we didn't get it leveled at any particular culprit on that one.
Well, in talking to the Eagles, they told us that the Byers stayed in Philadelphia and worked with the receivers all off season because they don't have any linemen, they had to block for him and all that. So as a result, he ends up becoming a better receiver out of a college like Ohio State, where they don't throw the football that much.
They got a 2nd and 8. Cunningham gets some time and has the sideline to Johnson complete. First down, Eagles, inside the 15 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ron Johnson, out of the Canadian Football League and the USFL, is a 30-year-old veteran, acquired in '85 as a free agent from Seattle after his tenure in the other leagues, but he's turned into a valuable man because of the injury to Mike Quick. And they expect to have back in a few weeks ready for the stretch drive, and this is part of the stretch drive for the Eagles. They must win here today.
They've got to win the rest of the way, really, if they hope to make the playoffs this year.
They have a first down inside the 15. Cunningham, lots of time. Johnson, what a catch, but he's out of bounds. Diving grab, but he was out of the end zone.
And he dropped it just as he was going to the ground as well.
I think he knew he was already out.
Here's a look at it from the end zone. Now watch Johnson. He tries to get up and get the ball in. Now he can't get his feet down because he's got that momentum head that's pushing him right out of bounds, and he drops the ball as well. But like you said, Tim, he knew he was out of bounds.
Yeah.
So he was just trying to save himself.
Once he dove, he knew he had no chance to stay in bounds. So it's 2nd and 10 inside the 14 of Pittsburgh. Steelers with an extra defensive back end. Inside handoff. Good defensive play by the Steelers. Initial hit made by David Little, the linebacker, number 50, and help from Dwayne Woodruff.
David Little played that about as well as you can expect a linebacker to play the draw play. Just stood right in there, stood his ground. Again, he's checking off those running backs man to man, so he's not going to go anywhere until that running back does. He is the brother of Larry Little, a former great down at in Miami with the Dolphins. Says that he's faster than Larry, though. I told him we nicknamed his brother Chicken. Chicken Little.
Sanchez and Hall now in the secondary with a linebacker Lloyd on this 3rd and long. Quarterback draw, they stuff it. Greg Lloyd, the first-year linebacker from Fort Valley State, number 95.
Greg Lloyd on the blitz outside right in the top of your screen. He comes in on the blitz unmolested. Tried to get a guard out there, Baker on him, but he misses him, and he, unfortunately for the Eagles, Lloyd doesn't miss Randall Cunningham. And now you saw Jones there. A couple extra shots in, but you notice this time the young rookie didn't throw back at Michael Haddix. He said, hey, look, I got a penalty the last time. I'm not going to give it to you again.
Zendejas will attempt a 40-yard field goal, 35-yard field goal, and he has it. Luis Zendejas from 35 yards away. And so the score now, the Eagles 17, the Steelers 16. Well, Buddy Ryan said he didn't expect this to be easy after what he saw the Steelers do to Denver, and it certainly hasn't been. The Eagles have taken the lead once more on the 35-yard field goal by this man, Luis Zendejas, 17-16. But a very relaxed and feisty Steeler team, making this a real battle. Zendejas kickoff, taken by Woodson. Woodson gets out over the 17-yard line, tripped up by Jenkins, reserve defensive back, but a flag on the play on the kickoff return.
Illegal block in the back, number 81, first down.
Against Pittsburgh.
Okay, now you want to know what happened on that last play. The Eagles are trying to run a counter OT with these two guys pulling over here. Now what happens is you get that pressure by Lloyd in here, and he just simply stops the play because Baker, number 63, is going to try to block him on the play. But you see he's already in the backfield. Baker can't make the adjustment, and as a result, they lose the yardage on the play.
And Cunningham, despite getting stopped on that quarterback draw, has almost outrushed the rest of his team. For the Eagles thus far. On first down, the Steelers, Warren Hodge picks up maybe 2 near the 12-yard line of Pittsburgh. Merrill Hodge, pardon me.
Well, welcome to the club, Tim.
Warren Williams and Merrill Hodge, the 2 young running backs. Steelers starting them for the 2nd week in a row, and certainly Chuck Noll has been rewarded by the running particularly of this guy. Merrill Hodge from Idaho State. 2nd down and 9. Brister changing up. Deep for Lewis Lips. He's got it. Touchdown.
watch what happens. Brister audibles off, checks off. Now watch. He's going to pull up, head towards the line of scrimmage. That pump fake is what set up Lewis Lips downfield. Lewis pulled up just a tad, then took back off, and he beats Hopkins down there, as well as Roynell Young, number 43, takes off for an 89-yard touchdown.
That's the longest pass reception for a score by Lewis Lips, and the longest pass reception, the pass thrown by Bubby Brister for a score in their respective NFL careers. Anderson with a point after. The Steelers quickly right back in front. There's Bubby Brister, an 89-yard touchdown pass to Lewis Lips. He called the audible, he made the connection, threw it over 2 defenders, a perfect pass for the touchdown, and Lips, who had thrown a touchdown pass earlier, having himself quite a day. Bubby Brister recently was speaking to a fan group in nearby New Kensington, Pennsylvania, and was somewhat critical in a kidding way about the way things were going for the Steelers this year. Created a bit of a brouhaha and a bit of a lecture from Chuck Noll, but he is back in everybody's good graces. Return out to the 22-yard line by Beals, and a good contact made on the hit. Well, there you can see in that last play for the Steelers, 89 passing yards. They've been running the ball so effectively. One play superseded the rest of their passing yardage to this point.
But then again, if you're on the other side of the ball and you're in the Eagles secondary, you're expecting deep help back there from your safeties. There's no way that safety should miss that play. And at that time, Wes Hopkins was coming over from his safety position, but didn't get there in time to give his cornerback Roynell Young any help. That's something they've had a problem with all season.
So a play action pass, Cunningham trying to go deep. Intercepted. Thomas Everett. Thomas Everett, whose brother is playing against him today, Eric Everett, the rookie from Texas Tech.
Now on this play, Tim, what's going to happen is you're going to see, again, they're trying to run that counter OT, and they're going to fake off of that. Randall Cunningham's going to pull out and go back. Now see the fake handoff there, guards pulling, tackles pulling. He pulls back out, play action, goes deep downfield. Everett's in fine position to intercept the pass, though.
So the Steelers with a first down at their own 25-yard line. Errol Hodge, not much, about a yard. Ball loose, but out for play, whistle dead.
This is when you want to see if a defense can kind of buckle down a little bit and find out what they're made about. Now on the other side, the Steelers offense, great time now for them to prove themselves and come back strong after they've gotten an interception, a key interception. Here's the end of that interception, by the way. Number 27 is Thomas Everett. He gets in fine position. He looks like the receiver on the play, gets in front of Johnson, makes it, now tries to put a little move on here, but he's all out of moves because he's probably all out of breath after running down there.
There he is, Thomas Everett, showing his younger brother how it's done. Both defensive backs, one on the Eagles, one on the Steelers. Second down and 7. Brister rolling. Connected with Lips, and he is inbounds. Lewis Lips for a first down to the 46 of Pittsburgh.
Lewis Lips here right down on the sideline. You see him come back, gets that football, grabs it, makes sure he's in bounds, slides both legs down, and then slides on out of bounds. That secondary of the Eagles is having big problems staying up with that guy. Again, I think you have to come up and press him. He's just hurting him outside. Got to come up and get some hands on him at the line of scrimmage.
18-yard gain, Brister to Lips. And they're going to review that one. It appeared to us both live and on the replay that he was inbounds. Brister takes advantage of the official timeout to come over and check with the offensive coordinator.
Now, makes the reception, slides down, both feet are inbounds when he makes the reception and goes out of bounds after being hit by Andre Waters.
You know, as we see El Sabato in there checking it for the NFL, Bubby Brister brought his father over to Pittsburgh this season. Play will stand, no surprise. His father, Walt's a former high school teacher and a coach who, talking about Bubby as a baby, said he had a natural throwing motion right from the crib. Screen, Hodge, a couple. Well, here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, the sun's starting to poke through the clouds, which have been over us all day long. Tim Ryan and Dan Jiggetts bringing you this exciting football game. The Pittsburgh Steelers, a 2-8 team in the AFC Central, giving the Eagles all they can handle. They're on top 23-17. Buddy Ryan knowing his team needs this one and the rest of the remaining games to make it into the playoffs in that very tight NFC East division. On second down. Brister gives it to Dwight Stone, his first carry of the day, the second-year running back from Middle Tennessee State. Lost about a yard on the play. It'll leave 3rd and 9.
You see that Chicago-Washington score. The Skins finally got on the board in the 3rd quarter.
Well, this becomes kind of the first big play for the Eagles defense here. 3:53 to go in the 3rd period. And having given up that touchdown and then the interception, they've got to make something happen here to get the ball back for the offense. Brister gets time, and that one incomplete. Intended for Troy Johnson, number 85. The ball thrown in front of him. He was well covered anyway.
The one thing you know about Bubby Brister, though, the guy is exciting. He excites this team. You talk to players on the team, and they say, well, he gets us all, he's electrifying. That's what Lewis Lipp said about him. So he electrifies the whole group, and then you see Lewis down there in the conversation along with Buddy, with Tim Moore, their offensive coordinator.
Newsom's punt taken by Konechny at the 7-yard line. I don't think that ball would have bounced into the end zone, so it may turn out to be a play you normally wouldn't like to see. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts back here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the Eagles, trailing 23-17, will have to start from their 8-yard line following a 46-yard punt by Harry Newsom. Newsom, the NFC's leading punter. In fact, the NFL's leading punter, averaging 46 yards a punt. Cunningham on first down to the big tight end, Keith Jackson. Loose ball, grabbed by the Steelers. The linebacker, David Little. First down, Steelers at the 15-yard line. Oh, boy. 2 turnovers have been tremendously costly to the Eagles.
Now Keith Jackson comes across. Now he's going to get the football right here. Tries to work back to the outside. Now he's got that football kind of loose in his hand. Right there, it pops out. And David Little makes the interception of the fumble, I guess you would call it, and tries to run it back in.
Greg Carr, number 91, the guy who put the hit on Jackson. And Little coming up with the ball from the 16-yard line. Merrill Hodge, and a good defensive play by Brown. Diving in, making the ankle stop, no gain.
Now see, Brown is one of those guys that doesn't like to wear any gloves, doesn't like to wear anything on his arms, or you see he's just got the little tape around his wrist. That's it. He says he likes that freedom of movement. Those South Florida guys get so hot down there, they don't like to wear any extra equipment. That's where he was raised at down in South Florida.
Brown himself says he wants to be more consistent, gets to be a little lackadaisical at times. If you get 100% out of him, he'll be more awesome than he appears to be. Second down and 11, and the pass picked up. Eric Allen, the rookie cornerback, number 21, brings it up the sideline. A flag down as there's a pileup in front of the Eagles bench, and tempers flaring.
And Tunchilkin is in a bad spot. He's in the middle of the Philadelphia Eagles bench, somewhere you don't want to be by yourself.
Well, he was over there trying to make a tackle on Eric Allen, who was racing up the sidelines. A flag was thrown on the play at the end of it. We'll see how that sorts out.
Eric Allen on the left side of your screen is going to make the break out of here and pick this ball off better than any receiver, because you saw him come right back to it. Now, Ouija Thompson was heading down into the end zone. Eric Allen saw that the ball was thrown short, came back for it. Wolfley misses the tackle there, but Allen goes out of bounds. Ilkin gets that late shot on him, and that's what caused the fray over there on the sideline. And Buddy Ryan gets a little taste of the action there. You can see he got knocked down. The knees are wet. Buddy's all worked up now. He's ready to go hit somebody.
Well, it turns into, with the penalty for the late hit, a first down out over the 40-yard line. First down, Eagles. Fires for a couple.
Got another little scuffle down on the field, and once again, it's our guy, Aaron Jones, number 97. Young rookie, he's in the middle of it. Well, you know, the one thing that you look for out of a young guy, though, is you don't want him to accept getting pushed around downfield. You want him to, you know, to brace up a little bit and come back after a couple of people, as long as he doesn't get the penalty for you. But that's what you expect out of this guy. He's finally found a position that he really likes, left defensive end, and he wants to be a good player for the Steelers at that position.
Boy, if he make that clear talking with us, that's what he's used to playing, and that's where he hopes to stay. Cunningham finds Jackson. He holds on after another tough hit on him. This one by Rod Woodson. But Keith Jackson hangs onto the ball for a first down.
What made the whole play is Randall Cunningham on the fake. You saw him fake to Byers. Looks like they were trying to run the little lag draw once again. Off the rollout action, he makes a nice fake, really jams it up in there, pulls back out, and then looks downfield. And he finds Keith Jackson, number 88, for the reception.
That interception by Eric Allen was his 4th of the season for the rookie from Arizona State. Buddy Ryan really happy with his play. A minute remaining, third quarter. One setback. Complete to Jimmy Giles. A flag flies as Giles got 5 to the 40-yard line of Pittsburgh.
And it's holding on the defense, I believe.
Illegal hands in the face, number 97.
Oh, well, they finally did get Aaron Jones. And something a little bit more dangerous than just holding a hit, shot to the head, to the face.
Aaron Jones has played both defensive ends and out at the right linebacker side as they've tried to improve their pass rush, trying him from different positions. Remember, they don't have Mike Merriweather, still a holdout here in Pittsburgh. And Keith Willis on injured reserve, their left defensive end, who's an excellent pass rusher. So in their effort to find a spot to utilize Jones' talents, he hasn't had a chance to settle in. He's happy to now be at left defensive end, where Joe Green is his line coach, and that's great experience for any young lineman. Steelers appeared to jump.
And again, it was Aaron Jones jumped off early. He's got to settle down a little bit as a young player. You see him getting counsel there. He's got to settle down just a little bit. And you'll see him jump into the screen from the left side. There you go. Right there, made a little contact on Baker.
So that'll move it down to the 30-yard line, 1st and 5.
It's 5 the easy way.
Then you see young Jones getting some encouragement from the teammates out there on defense. You know, he's eager and enthusiastic, and certainly in everybody's interest to keep him loose and going all out. 1st and 5. Haddix, not much. Tripped up by Johnson, number 78. Second-year defensive end from Penn State.
We saw all along that defensive line of the Steelers, what they did is they just played right up on the line of scrimmage, played it tough, and kept the offensive line from getting into them, and as a result, Philly couldn't make any yardage.
So that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Pittsburgh Steelers 23, Philadelphia Eagles 17. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by AT&T, the right choice. United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. And by Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car.
Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the Philadelphia Eagles have it 2nd down and 4 at the 29-yard line of the Steelers, trailing 23-17. Cunningham out to Byers. Byers has the 1st down. Pressure came from Tim Johnson. Cunningham rolling to his left showed his strength, making that pass complete to Byers.
Number 78 will come from the right side of your screen. Tim Johnson gets hot pressure on Randall Cunningham on the rollout. Randall reads it hot and dumps it off very quickly.
So the Eagles now at the 24-yard line of Pittsburgh. Johnson, Williams, Jones across the front in the 3-man line, and now they bring up the linebackers, showing 6 across. And it works. The traffic too much for Byers. Greg Carr, the linebacker, number 91, stopping him right at the line of scrimmage.
What you see the Eagles doing offensively is they're trying to be patient, stay with the running game, but the Steelers defense has really been hurting them up front.
5 new substitutes now on 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh, getting the extra defensive backs in. Sanchez and Hall. Second and 10. Cunningham runs out of time. It's picked off. A flag down. Rod Woodson with the interception. Cunningham hit just as he released the ball. In fact, I thought for a moment, Dan, he might have been in the grasp of the tackler.
Roughing the passer, number 95.
That's going to give the ball back to the Eagles on the play. Here you see it ground level. Now watch Cunningham get hit just as he's trying to release. He throws the football there, and then he gets that extra shot there, and that's the one that did it. He ends up getting the 15 yards on the play.
Greg Lloyd, the linebacker, number 95, and seeing the replay, nobody did have a hold of him. He got the pass off. Lloyd hit him, and the officials say too late.
Well, you know, it's hard when you're jumping over somebody to pull up.
Well, I think the crowd agrees with your view of it here at Three River Stadium, naturally enough, because they lose the interception by Rod Woodson.
Here's another look at it now. You're going to see Lloyd get airborne because he's jumping over some of the Eagles down on the ground. Now first it's Johnson. He tries to reach in and grabs Randall. Then you see him jumping over one of the offensive linemen, and he simply runs into the quarterback. You can't pull up when you're in the middle of the air.
So the interception by Woodson is wiped out, and the Eagles get a tremendous break. First down at the 12-yard line. An unhappy Pittsburgh crowd responds. Cunningham out of the hands of Keith Jackson. His 2nd drop today. He's made some good catches, but he's made 2 drops that were thrown right to him. And Cunningham there quickly to the rookie saying, shake it off, don't worry about it, how's your foot? It's like he got stepped on.
And then after he finds out he's okay, he says, now next time catch the football.
Second and 10 on the 12. Line shot intended for Byers, incomplete.
Thomas Everett in on that action, number 27 for the Steelers. Good play by the secondary of the Steelers.
It would only been about a 3-yard gain had he caught the ball there.
I think on this play, Randall Cunningham was looking for more than that 3 on this one.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think he wanted more there, but the coverage downfield didn't have anybody that he could find.
Sure, he's looking to the end zone on this play.
Carter's out wide to the right. Jackson on the right side. Cunningham's got running room. Cunningham, touchdown.
Well, he was looking to the end zone. He's looking to do it himself.
A 12-yard touchdown run by Randall Cunningham. Eagles back on top.
Now he pulls back, sets up, looks downfield very quickly. This was not a design quarterback draw. He just tucks the ball away and goes for the open spot on the field. And that good desire when he gets down to the goal line, he just pushes it across. What an athlete.
Zendeja with a point after that will give the Eagles a 1-point lead. And it's good. 13-14 remains in regulation time. The Eagles by a point. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts back here in Pittsburgh. Randall Cunningham's second touchdown of the day. First time he's run for 2 in a game. Has put the Philadelphia Eagles back on top by a point, 24-23. Randall continues to make the big plays, do it by himself. They got a lot of help, though, with that penalty against the Steelers.
That's right. It's a very questionable penalty if you're looking at it from the Steelers' point of view. But Randall Cunningham does what he has to do on this play here. Quarterback sets back up. Now pulls that ball in and heads downfield. Now watch him here as he gets close to the goal line. He lets Carter set him up a little bit on the play, and he just dives into the end zone. No regard for his personal well-being.
Well, that's true, I suppose. Buddy Ryan must have mixed emotions when he runs like that, because you want him to do what he does so well, but you have to cringe a little bit. Be concerned that he just might get hurt one of these times. But he's a big, strong guy. Zendeja's kickoff. Short. Comes down at the 12. Taken by Stone. Stone gets out to the 29-yard line. And he's hit there by Ty Allen. Well, don't forget our doubleheader action next week. College football will match Penn State. A lot of you Nittany Lion fans looking for an upset of the #1 team in the country, Notre Dame. That's at live at 12 Eastern time, and that'll be followed by Nebraska and Oklahoma, numbers 7 and 8. The battle for the Big 8 and a trip to the Orange Bowl. First down, Steelers. Their own 30-yard line. Merrill Hodge. I'm insisting on calling him Warren. And Merrill Hodge gets about a yard up the left side. Mike Reichenbach and Andre Waters combine on the tackle.
Visiting with Reichenbach yesterday, he was telling us about the complications of this Philadelphia defense and the fact that he's got to play mediator out there because everybody else gets so excited on that defense. He says, I'm the guy that has to keep them all calm out there. He's also got to keep track of all the changes that are happening offensively and change the defense as a result of that.
The 7-year-old in his 5th year, Buddy Ryan says he'll be an Eagle as long as Buddy Ryan's an Eagle. He really likes this young man's attitude and his enthusiasm and intelligence. Second down, Brister. Intended for Hodge, incomplete. Brister stepping up in the pocket. Couldn't quite connect with Hodge on that one.
And Seth Joyner, number 59, had good coverage on the play. He was right on Hodge as he came downfield.
Brister, the baseball pitcher on the Detroit Tigers chain, decided when they turned him into a shortstop that he would go back to college. Went to Tulane briefly, transferred to Northeast Louisiana State. That's where he played his college ball. Northern Louisiana. Third down and 9. Deep drop this time by Brister. In and out of the hands of Warren Williams. Coverage on him from number 33, William Frizzell. And he would have been well short of first down yardage anyway.
I want to tell you one thing.
Have to punt.
That Steeler offensive line has done, I think, an exceptional job against the oncoming rush of the Philadelphia Eagles, because you really haven't seen Bubby Brister forced to run that much today. It's been one key that's really developed for them.
Newsom, good punt. Konechny from his 21. Not a bad return to the 30. Hit there by Lee, and a flag on the play.
They got so many rules on special teams now that there's always a flag on every play. Blocking from behind, blocking too low, using your hands, extending your arms.
I get the impression you think there's too many of those.
Absolutely. Special teams used to be a lot of fun to play. Now you have to be a surgeon.
A very precise tackler.
That's right.
All right, we have a timeout on the field here in Pittsburgh. 12:02 to go, and Eagles by 1. Well, the Bears continue to lead Washington in the fourth quarter, 20-7 at Washington. Eagles in front by a point here. The Giants play later against Phoenix, so as you can see, the significance of this game to the Eagles. They simply have to win this one, and the rest of them, all of their remaining games, are against division opponents. Byers stuffed for a loss. Cornell Gowdy coming up from the safety position, and Gerald Williams, the nose tackle, making the play for a loss of about 1.5 yards.
There's Cornell Gowdy coming out of the game. It looks like he's holding that left arm like he might have injured it on the play. Gerald Williams, the nose tackle, is another guy we were talking to yesterday and the day before, telling us how much he wanted to be a Steeler when he was a young man growing up, and really use him as an example of how he should play.
2nd and 11. Cunningham shifting Haddix and gives him the ball. Bounces off one tackler and gets out to the 20-yard line for a gain of about 4. Rod Woodson made the tackle there.
Got another player injured.
Yes, a Steeler down. We're at Three Rivers Stadium here in Pittsburgh. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts. And the Eagles lead 24-23. 11:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Rod Woodson, the injured Steeler player on that last tackle. And a key man on the corner, the second-year man from Purdue, their #1 choice a year ago, and he comes off to the sideline with a sore arm, as we saw Gowdy leave just moments ago.
And Tony Dungy, the defensive coordinator of the Steelers, was telling me that's why the secondary is having so many problems picking off footballs, because all of them have got, you know, wrist problems or arm problems, that kind of thing. And then you see they're protecting that shoulder of Rod Woodson's. May have just popped out when it hit the turf. It looks more like the elbow, actually.
It's sore, no matter what. 3rd down and 7. Crowd here are trying to arouse the Steelers defense and stop them on this 3rd down. Pittsburgh jumped but got back. Tim Johnson. Cunningham gets it off complete to the tight end Jimmy Giles, number 83, and the veteran has a 1st down at the 37-yard line.
And talking with Danny Neal from the Eagles, he told me that offensive line now is finally playing together on the Eagles. And here you see them, they're all up front, getting their arms out, keeping those people off their quarterback. As a result, Cunningham has a chance to go down and get to his tight end, Jimmy Giles. Giles sits in there, settles down, and waits for the ball to get there and makes a nice reception. Now, compare that to what was happening earlier with Jackson. I think he may have been getting a little fatigued, and as a result was dropping some balls. But now they get Giles in the game, get some fresh legs in there. And as a result, he's making some catches.
Jimmy Giles, 34-year-old veteran, acquired in a deal last year with the Lions. Lupe Sanchez has replaced Woodson on the corner. And a nice diving tackle by Cornell Gowdy on Keith Byers. Gain of only about 1 yard for the Eagles there. They are out at their 39-yard line.
That was
use up that clock.
That was an exceptional play by Gowdy to come in and make really what you would say was an open field tackle. Tackling Byers there just 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage, and there's nobody else around to tackle the guy. Gowdy comes in and does a good job.
Gowdy in the spot that was occupied by Donnie Shull for so long. A strong safety. Played on the replacement team for the Steelers last year out of Morgan State. On 2nd down. In and out of the hands and picked off by Woodruff. Michael Haddix had to go off his fingertips, and Woodruff comes up with a big play.
You practice this all the time as a defense, the tip drill. Now, Michael Haddix comes down, does that hook route. He's supposed to catch this football, #1, but if you can't catch it, at least knock it down so this doesn't happen. Dwayne Woodruff makes the interception. Now he heads over towards that sideline. Let's see who tries to get on the stop. Haddix is one of the first guys, and he makes another mistake by missing the tackle. Gets some help from some of his other offensive people.
First pickoff of the season for Woodruff. The 3rd Philadelphia turnover today. And Pittsburgh at the Eagles 36. Merrill Hodge on 1st down for close to 5.
We all got nice blocking at the point of attack from Craig Wolfley, number 73, blocking down inside, crushed his man to the turf, and as a result, Hodge had some running room over on that left side of the offensive line.
Second down, 5 to go. Steelers. Hodge again, this time is hit at the line of scrimmage. 4 Eagles around him. Jerome Brown had him wrapped up and threw him back. And Bubby Brister coming up to register an editorial complaint.
Clyde Simmons got in there and just stripped the ball away from him, number 96. Clyde's known to get a little testy up there on that defensive line as well. Got to make sure you block that guy. To make the going a little rough.
Eagles have been solid in the turnover plus-minus category all season long. This is not a characteristic day for them, and it's been damaging. Hogue and Frizzell are in the secondary now on 3rd down, and the safety blitz, Terry Hogue, coming from the outside, comes up with a big sack all the way back outside the 40.
Looks like as well that Wolfley may be hurt on the play. Number 73 for the Steelers.
3rd sack of the day by the Eagles, and Hogue, who made the hit, limping to the sideline.
Now, this is where the play is going to come from. These two guys right here, watch this blitz now, strong safety blitz. Watch him walk up into the line of scrimmage. Now he just runs right through there, gets bumped a little bit, but now Terry Hodge comes through and makes the tackle.
Oh, you were right this time. That's Hogue. The ball came loose on the play, and it was Hodge who covered it for Pittsburgh. It's 4th down no matter what. And we've got a timeout on the field with 7:45 to go. Steelers with a 4th down, trailing by a point. Tim Ryan with Dan Jiggetts. Chuck Noll looking on here as his team trailing by a point, now in a punting situation following the sack. And it'll be Newsom standing at his own 42-yard line. Mark Konecki back at the 10 of Philadelphia. 7:45 to play. Did he down it? No, just in the end zone, evidently, had his foot on the line. What a try by Greg Lee.
Now what happens to Greg is he's trying to work down along that goal line, misses the ball there. Now it bounces towards the goal line. Now watch his feet step on that end line, and as a result, he breaks the play. And you see the official right there on top of the play. But as long as his foot touches that white line, it's like a pane of glass going straight up to the top of the stadium. You touch that line,
you're
in the end zone.
Well, a tough break there for the Steelers, who have had a few here. That critical penalty against Greg Lloyd, a costly one, and now here a fine punt by Newsom, but it comes out to the 20.
Cunningham's checking off.
This is Abercrombie, his first carry of the day. Walter Abercrombie, number 32, the former Steeler. Right now, let's go to New York and Brett Musburger for an NFL update.
Tim, it is uphill now for the Washington Redskins. About 10 minutes to go in RFK. Watch this catch by Gentry. Tomczak rips it to him, and the Bears lead 27-7. Again, about 10 minutes to go. Back to Tim.
Well, Dennis Gentry again, not a household name around the league, but a valuable member of that Bears team. And credit to Mike Tomczak getting his chance and playing well these past couple of weeks with the injury to McMahon. 2nd down and 8. And Michael Haddix, not much there. Steelers send on 3 new troops on 3rd down. Lloyd comes in, along with Artie Nickerson. And Dilton Hall, an extra defensive back. 2 new linebackers and another man in the secondary on 3rd down and 7. 6:27, time counting down. Eagles trying to keep this football, clinging to a 1-point lead. They had plenty of regard for the Steeler team despite their 2-8 record. You can see why. That's incomplete. Intended for Carter. And it'll bring up 4th down, so Pittsburgh will get the ball again. And with pretty good field position. Telchik, the punter, and Lewis Lips waiting for it at the 40-yard line. Woodson, normally the punt returner, with the injured arm in the last defensive series by the Steelers. Bearcat signal by Lips, and from the 43-yard line, Pittsburgh will start from there. Down a point. Just a 34-yard punt. Well, next week, the Eagles will be at the Giants, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Those of you looking in will see that game, and obviously dependent on the outcome of today's game. Should the Eagles win here today, that will be huge. The Giants at 7-3, and the Giants playing in Phoenix today. Warren Williams running hard, loose ball. Steelers evidently recovered, and they may whistle it dead back where Williams hit the ground. Now we've got 2 signals here, one back where Williams went down, and another official standing where the ball is now, recovered by Pittsburgh. John Reenstra fell on the loose ball.
I think the key there is the ball was touched by the Philadelphia defense, and as a result was recovered by the Steelers. Now here it is. Williams comes up off that right side, gets hammered there on the play, fumbles the ball. Now watch Roynell Young, I believe, has reached in. No, he did not touch the ball. John Reenstra just scooped it up off the turf.
So it's a first down.
Forward.
-1 yards for the Steelers this quarter. The screen set up and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Dwight Stone, number 20.
Stone is another one of those young running backs that Chuck Noll is counting a great deal on to kind of turn the corner for them. That's one of the reasons why they felt they could let Walter Abercrombie go, and he got picked up, of course, by the Eagles.
2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brister and company, 5:07 to go. The most critical defensive series of the game so far for the Eagles. Stone in motion. Draw play, Hodge. Good block from Thompson. First down, Pittsburgh. To the 29 of Philadelphia. Wes Hopkins steered him out. A 17-yard gain.
Little sprint draw by the Steelers here. Now watch Brister pull out, go to his right side. Now he hands off the ball to Hodge, and Hodge just does the rest. Nice blocking up front. Holds that ball a little loosely out there, but he's making good yardage. Then tucks it away just before he gets run out of bounds. See, Brister's done so much rolling out now. The defense is setting up out there, trying to wait for him to throw the football. This time he hands it off to Hodge, and he runs the ball upfield.
First down at the 29-yard line. Again, Brister checking off. He's made some good decisions on his audibles today. White Stone rocked back, but picked up about 4 before Wes Hopkins ran into him. Imagine Wes Hopkins out a year and a half with serious knee injury and coming back and playing like he'd never been away.
One problem that they have had back there is they want to get those safeties to play the deep coverage. And I'm sure that's something that, Ryan is concerned about. He says, hey, look, if you're going to play back there, you're completely healthy. You got to get out there and cover those guys deep when you get that back help.
Hodge for about 4. That'll put him close to the 100-yard mark on the day. Jerome Brown tripped him up. Gary Anderson, he'll be ready to come in for the field goal try if necessary. 3rd down, about 5.
There is Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator. I incorrectly called him Tim Moore before. Got one Tim in the booth and one Tom down on the field.
And he got Tim Johnson on the field, too. So Tom is making a big call right here. 3rd and 5. Hodge again, and he is stopped. Got only about a yard. Jerome Brown playing the run well on that play. That'll bring on Anderson. Gary Anderson. His father's his agent. Just got him a brand new deal here. And he is certainly worth it. Has 3 field goals today, going for number 4, trying from 41 yards away. At a 52-yarder on his first try. And he's got it. Just automatic. So Pittsburgh has retaken the lead with 3:06 to go. Now, Eagles fans would say this is right in Cunningham country here.
Yeah,
Get down near the end of the game. He's been a miracle man, marching them up the field to win ball games.
Talking with Buddy Ryan yesterday, he said, you know, Randall plays that 2-minute situation just like Tommy Kramer used to with the Minnesota Vikings. They used to call him 2-minute Tommy. The guy relishes that 2-minute situation.
Well, the Steelers defensively will have it all on the line here once the Eagles get the ball. And Philadelphia, of course, in that NFC East, a critical situation here. They're still a young team. They had hoped to be a playoff team this year, and may still be. But you can certainly see with the talent that they are developing that if they don't make it this year, they're not too far away. A victory here today and division games ahead, the Eagles will still be very much in it.
What's the thing, to do it so quickly with young players is very difficult to do. They certainly have been effective this year.
Beals a deep man. Anderson, line shot taken by Konechny. And Konechny gets out to the 27-yard line. So that's where it will be for Randall, Cunningham and company. Well, following our football activity on CBS this afternoon, tonight, we'll start with 60 Minutes. Dartmouth is being called for interference, and it has nothing to do with Ivy League football. What's it all about? Well, watch 60 Minutes tonight. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by the CBS Sunday Movie. Where the Hell's That Goal? Starring Willie Nelson, Delta Burke, Jack Elam, and Gerald McCrane. Screen pass on first down. Byers. Byers gets about 6. Randall Cunningham, 22 of 36 passing. Now make it 23 of 37. Delton Hall and Brian Hinkle made the tackle.
You see the percentage of the offense that Randall Cunningham has. The season average 74%. Today, 86%. Guy stays busy.
2nd and 4. 2:23 to play. Cunningham's got a man open. Giles for the first down. Into Steeler territory at the 48.
Now, I know Keith Jackson had the little ankle problem before when we were down on the far side of the end zone. But you got to believe that Randall Cunningham likes to have Jimmy Giles in the ball game when everything is on the line. He's got him today.
So we reached the 2-minute warning. Philadelphia has the ball. They trail by 2. Tim Ryan and Dan Jiggetts here in Pittsburgh. 2 minutes to play. Pittsburgh leading by 2. Philadelphia with the ball just inside midfield in Pittsburgh territory. And Tony Dungy has 5 defensive backs in his secondary for this 2-minute operation defensively. First down, Eagles.
To the Philadelphia Eagles, you got to start thinking about working the middle of that field. That's what they're going to give you defensively.
Fires a little high, incomplete.
Should have had the catch. You saw Randall Cunningham say, come on, let's go. This is when everything is on the line. You've got to make those plays. There's no excuses for not making them. If you get your hands on the ball, catch it.
4 seconds used up. Eagles have 2 timeouts available. Take a look at what Cunningham is seeing defensively on the shotgun. That pass off the mark. Intended, I believe, for Byers. The deep man was Ron Johnson, but looked like it was intended for Keith Byers, number 41. Third down.
Number 98, Gerald Williams, on the Steeler defensive line, broke through and came right into Randall Cunningham's line of vision when he was trying to throw the football. Good pressure by Williams. Young man has said that he idolized Joe Green as coach when he was growing up.
Imagine getting a chance to have him not only make the team and have Joe Green be your coach. Cunningham. Going deep for Carter. Carter has it. Inside the 10, the defender slipped down, and Carter had it all to himself. It was Lupe Sanchez.
Just like last week, but we talked before about how Cunningham likes to throw that ball a little short and allows his receivers to come back to the ball when they're going deep. That's what Chris Carter does here. He just comes back, waits for that ball to die down a little bit, and comes back to it. And now watch the reaction of Randall Cunningham when he knows he's rolled up. Snake eyes.
40-yard pass, and you saw Sanchez as Carter came back. Sanchez trying to get his traction, lost it on that slippery turf. Been wet all morning, as we told you.
Cunningham says when he throws that fade, his receivers know just slow down a little bit and then work back to the football.
Then Dejas on the sideline. They only need a field goal. Byers stopped at the line of scrimmage. 1:34 and counting.
Now the Steelers have to worry about conserving that clock.
They have all their timeouts, and they used the first. Carr made the tackle on Byers. Greg Carr, linebacker number 91. So it is 2nd and goal. The ball is at the 7-yard line of Pittsburgh. Now, you don't want to take that field goal at this point. If folks are wondering, 1:31 to go. That's an awful lot of time. We've seen Bubby explode with one long touchdown pass for Pittsburgh. So you don't really want to have the ball back in Pittsburgh's hands if you're the Eagles at this point.
But if you're the Eagles also, you have to think about turnovers. You don't want to turn the ball over, so you have to go with what you feel are your most effective and careful offensive plays, because to turn the ball over here and lose the ball game because of something like that, it would be really foolish when you could have kicked the field goal and gone ahead.
Well, then what plays are they going to run?
I think you're going to see them run simple dive stuff. Either that or have Randall run the football and try to get into the end zone off of some form of play action on the rollout.
They send Johnson out to the left, Carter to the right. Maddox the lead back, fires the ball, takes it wide, inside the 5, close to the 2-yard line. Clock stopped at 1:25 as he's out of bounds right at the 2.
Now, Keith Byers wanted to take this play right off tackle because you see the tight end, Giles, turning out the block, but he can't find anything inside, so he just bounces it outside, outruns David Little, but finally gets tackled out after he gained some about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. It was Cornell Gowdy that drove him out. Saw Buddy Ryan, Ed Plum, Matt Cavanaugh huddled over there. It's Byers again, diving, but he had too far to dive. Got maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 4th down.
Little just jammed the play up in there. Nice play.
David Little, number 50, made the stop, and it was going to be a Greg Louganis or Randall Cunningham type dive to get in from there.
But watch number 50. He's going to be David Little, a linebacker. And Byers is trying to work over on that left side of his offensive line. Takes a dive from about the 3, but Little is right there to meet him like some rough water on the dive.
Well, all right, 1:18 on the clock. Luis Zendejas comes on the field on 4th down. Should be a chip shot for him. Zendejas has a 35-yarder to his credit today. Missed from 56 late in the first half.
Well, you know, Buddy Ryan was talking about his field goal kickers. He said if we had this guy earlier in the season, we'd be high-fiving each other because we might even be undefeated at this point.
Well, he thought it was at least worth at least 3 wins of the 5 they lost. You never know for sure. You can't replay those with another kicker, but he felt that they were hurt early on. An 18-yard try for Zendejas is good, and the Eagles have gone in front. 1:15 remains to play. 27-26.
Zendejas successful on the kick. And now, what's his reaction? Yeah. Talk about high-fiving. That's a low 5, actually, because he can't jump very high. But they said, hey, yeah, okay, I'm glad I got this guy now. I got a kicker I can depend on.
Zendejas came into this game 11 of 14 with a 50-yarder to his credit. That counts the early few games he was with the Dallas Cowboys, and he's 2 of 3 today.
Now you take a look at Chuck Noll and the job the Steelers have done today. How can you be disappointed with the kind of effort they've given you and the way they played this football game? And everybody's saying, well, Chuck Noll's not doing his job. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. This team was playing hard football today, and they're right in this game right down to the last second.
Absolutely, and there's some fans who agree with that point of view.
You got to learn how to spell his last name.
Right, there must be a little inside on that banner. I can't believe anybody in the Pittsburgh area will put the K in front there. 1:15 to play. The Steelers not out of this yet. Sanchez, one of the deep men, along with Stone for Pittsburgh, and Dejas kicks it deep. Bounces into the end zone, and Stone will not even think about bringing it out. The Steelers will start from their 20. The 1:15 drill for Bubby Brister. Brister 8 of 19, 183 yards today, including that 89-yard strike to Lewis Lips. And he chucked that one about 40 yards in the air.
And you think about how far Bubby Brister has to take the Pittsburgh Steelers now, maybe about 40 yards to get within range for Anderson. He's one of the best kickers in the National Football League.
Straight drop for Brister. Gets the ball off complete. Lewis Lips for a first down at the 31-yard line of Pittsburgh, trying to get out of bounds, and a good job by the defender Frizzell to keep him in.
Frizzell kept him from getting out of bounds. As a result, Brister got tacked from behind and almost just before he threw the football. Enough presence to get it off, though. 51 seconds left, and clock is dropping.
Complete. White Stone hit immediately by Hopkins. Short of the first down. Timeout taken by Pittsburgh. And they are now out of timeouts with 40 seconds to play.
Clyde Simmons got loose on Bubby Brister. You can see Bubby still feeling the effects of it. Number 96 slips by Craig Wolfley. Now watch this shot he puts on him just as he releases the ball. That's the kind of stuff that can shake up your quarterback, particularly when you get into the 2-minute situation. Bubby's still feeling the effects of that shot.
I don't think you'll get him out of there, though, with a crane at this point.
No way.
He's enjoying this game. That's what he wanted to do. He talked about how the team was loose and relaxed, and we saw it in practice Friday and Saturday here in Pittsburgh. You know, the kind of the monkey was off their back. I mean, you're having a 2-8 season. It's better to be realistic and say the playoffs are gone. Let's just try and improve each week, be a spoiler, win some games, have some fun. And when you got a guy like Gary Anderson waiting to get a shot at it, if Brister can do his job, the Steelers can win this football game. Second down and about a foot. That's really meaningless. 40 seconds to go. Brister to the short man, a bad pass. Intended for Dwight Stone. Brister seemed to think that he would be turned out the way he threw the ball, but it was a misconnection either way. Third down. Now the Eagles, much maligned defense, and statistically they deserve that because they're down at the bottom.
But a lot of that yardage comes in between the 20s when it really doesn't count that much.
Yeah, that's true enough, but they've got to show that they can stop them when they have to, and here's the situation right now. Brister out of bounds, intended for Hodge, but the rush came from Jerome Brown, who had his hands up in Brister's face, might even have tipped the ball en route.
Eric Allen almost made the interception over on the sideline.
Brister checking with Tom Moore on the sideline. Last gasp.
Seems like the Steelers are having a little trouble getting that play set in. It's not the time to do it. Now there's only 17 seconds remaining and even less now on the 30-second clock. You got to get the play off.
Fourth down. They try to get the first, and they do. Hodge. Out of bounds. Well done by Pittsburgh. 25 seconds left.
Merrill Hodge played that one very nicely, got the yardage necessary for the first down, and did the smart thing, and that's head out of bounds and kill that clock.
The ball now at the 47-yard line of Pittsburgh.
You saw Eric Allen, number 21, reaching in there and trying to strip the ball out of Hodge's hands. He said, no way I'm going to have any of that action.
102 yards on the day rushing for Merrill Hodge. 21 carries. And new life with a first down. Flags. Illegal procedure is the preliminary signal.
False start, number 62, first down.
Tunchilkin charged with the false start. And that backs up the Steelers to their 42.
Tunchilkin doesn't need a false start. The guy's given up 2.5 sacks in the last 2 or 3 years.
That's for sure. First down at 15. 25 seconds remain. Brister is dropped behind the line as he started to take off. Reggie White made the tackle.
You see Bubby Brister's trying to get his offense reset. He's screaming to tell him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
17 and counting down. Brister angrily fires the ball to the ground to stop the clock with 12.
Now, when you think about where this play, the previous play started, they needed about 15 yards to get in Gary Anderson's range. Now they need about 25 or so to get in that.
Well, that is really a telling point, Dan. He had a 52-yarder today, and he's kicked well in this direction that they're going in, but he's not Superman. They certainly have made it more difficult here, and Brister unhappy with the guys getting back to the line of scrimmage on the last play, costing them time. Third down, rolling right. Finds Lewis Lips. First down to the 41-yard line. 4 seconds remain.
Brister on the rollout, sets up, finds Lewis Lips coming back towards the sideline. Lewis settles down in there and makes the catch before getting knocked out of bounds. That's the kind of play you expect a pro to make on the sideline. Now Gary Anderson has to do the rest.
A 57-yard attempt. Right hash mark. Blocked. Zeros across. The Eagles have won and are alive in the NFC East. A thriller in Pittsburgh. The Steelers really battling the Eagles, but Anderson's 57-yard attempt blocked.
Tim, we talked before about how Buddy Ryan teams like to put pressure on the kickers on field goals and extra points. They do it here. You see all those people coming in to block that play. I think you could give credit on the block to about 3 or 4 different guys on that Eagle defense. But Frizzell looks like the guy who got the main hand on it. What he likes to do is focus about 3 people in on that ball, jam the center.